Let's suppose that you want to write a program to process employee information. An employee record usually consists of many things of different types. It might include employee number, which is an integer. It might include the employee name, which is a string. The number of hours the employee worked, which is probably decimal value. The pay rate, decimal. The gross pay, decimal. Number of kids they have, integer value. Address, string. So a case like that, maybe you want to create a structure for that. And to create a structure, we begin by writing structure, struct, and we're going to call the information for each employee pay record or payroll, I don't know. And this particular structure consists of the following information. It's going to have int integer, employee number. It's going to have character, name, which will say, let's say it's how big the name, 25 characters, or a string of 25. So the employee is going to have a name, it's going to have a number, double, hours, how many hours they worked, double, pay rate, how much they pay you per hour, and double, maybe gross pay. That's fine, that's plenty. Notice we have different types, so each line represents a record there. Semicolon expected. A structure always going to end with the semicolon, and that's what this one is telling me. That's the end of the structure. So we're defining something called structure. So in the past, remember when you went to your main program and you said integer, they knew what integer is. So let's say if I have an employee now, employee 1, and I want that employee to have all this information. Well, the machine should know what payroll now is. So I can say payroll. Let's say we have employee number 1. And notice there's no syntax error. So employee actually, when we say the word employee 1, is going to have all this information associated with it. So how does the machine know when you send in information if you meant that to be a number, or you meant that to be the hours they worked, or the pay rate, or the gross pay? How are they going to know that? Well, that's when you have to use the dot, employee 1 dot hours. So they know you're talking about the hours, employee 1 dot pay rate. So for example, if I want to read, just to give you an idea here, if, let's say I want to get the employee number, employee 1 number. So what I might say, like on the screen, I might say cout, enter, employee 1 number. And when you read that now, cn, you got to tell them to put that in employee 1 dot, we said number, emp number. So that will go in employee one number. If you want to read the name, get employee one name, missing an M here. And the way we do that, we go C out and C in. So I'll copy and paste. Just doctor that a little bit. Enter employee one name here. And that's going to go into employee one dot name. The only thing actually, what I'm going to do with the employee name, we're gonna have a problem if I just say read the name. Let's see. I'll leave it for now. I'll come back and talk about that. So we'll come back to this one. Because if I put Z Haddad, the letter Z and space Haddad is only going to take Z. So we'll fix that one. So just a little remark, to be fixed later. So just remember that one, to be fixed later. Let's get employee one, copy this. Let's say I want to read get employee 1 hour worked. Enter the hours worked by employee 1. So that's going to be employee 1, and it's going to say hours here. Let's do the pay rate. Copy. Enter employee 1 pay rate. The pay rate for employee 1, and I call that pay rate here. And finally, I'm going to calculate what the gross pay. So I have to write employee 1 dot gross pay equals employee 1 dot hours times employee 1 dot rate or pay rate. So imagine if you have another one. If you have employee number 2, you got to repeat the whole process. So maybe there's an easier way to fix that. Now, if you want to show the result, display employee 1 data. So let's see. See out. Double quotation. Here is the employee 1 payroll data. and go to the next line. Oh. Cout name. Oh, where am I? Here we go. Double quotation. I want the word name to show up. Space. And let's put the name. That's employee1 dot name. Next line. And L. Hours worked, maybe. Cout hours. I forgot to put that here. How many hours did you work? Or he worked, she worked. Employee1 dot hours. Next line. Cout rate. I'm thinking actually, okay, never mind. I was about to say set width to make them all line up, but that's okay. Employee1 dot rate or pay rate. Then next line. And the last one, the gross pay. Gross pay. Maybe I'll put a dollar sign here too with it. The same thing with the rate. Maybe I'll put a dollar sign. Employee 1 dot gross pay. Next line. And L. Maybe I'll do and L twice. And that should do it. If we did this correctly, it should do it. Now, if you have another employee, second employee, you got to repeat the whole process there. As I said, there's a problem possibly here. So let me save that. Employee one number. Employee one number, it's number 456. The name, Z. Hours worked for employee one. I guess we're not doing overtime here. 30 hours. Rate, $15.75 an hour. Now, if you scroll up, you get to see it. Here we go. Here's the employee one payroll data. Name is Z, hours 30, $15.75. Boom. I forgot to say set width, set precision, show point. So before I'll go back and fix that. Cout, fixed. Show point. Set precision to 2. Set precision and I know why, because I didn't say include IO manipulation. Pound include IO manipulation. Save this one, run it. I'm going to make this give me a problem here. 456 Z Haddad. And notice this is the name is Z. Here are the employee 1 information. The name is Z. Didn't work any hours. No rate, nothing. Why? Because once you put Z space Haddad, the name Z goes into the name. Then Haddad goes right here. Haddad is not a number. So it goes into the hours becomes 0. So everything is 0. It doesn't even ask, it kicks you out because everything is wrong. So if you want to take the name as Z Haddad, you don't want to use CN for that. Maybe you want to use the get line, which reads the entire line. So let's do cn.getLine. And that will read all the line all the way up to that enter and put that in location employee name. That's also going to be a problem. cn dot get line employee name, and remember we said the name is going to be how many characters? We specified the name to be 25, so I got to tell them how many, comma 25 here. And now the error went away, but there is a problem with this line. We still have a problem. The only way this will work if it's the last thing you type in this. If this is the last thing you're asking for, it will work, but not here. 4, 5, 9, I don't know. Notice it's going to the hours. It didn't even ask me for the name. It just bypassed that quickly. Why? Once you hit enter, it took the enter key as your name. So what you want to do here, you want to release that enter key. So to do that, cn.ignore, and that will release that enter key. There's a built-in function that tells them take that enter key and don't count it. So this one, release the enter key. So now we'll go and ask me for the name and we'll take the name. Stop. Okay. That's the number. Name ZN Haddad. Notice I'm using a big, less than 35. Enter the hours worked by employee 1. 75. There's no overtime here. Enter the pay rate for employee 1. I don't know, $75 an hour. Here are employee 1 payroll data. Name ZN Haddad, hours 75, rate $75 an hour, and the gross pay is $5,625.00. The only thing I would have done there is, before I start printing all the stuff, put an extra space. That's really the only thing. Where was that? I had where did the show the print here? Get employee. Oh, display right here. So here what I should have done, put /n color spaces. And that will do that. That will make it look nicer. I worked 37 hours. Employee number 5678. Worked 37 hours. $22.75 an hour. Uh-oh. Yeah, you see, I wasn't reading what I'm typing. Yeah, I wasn't reading what I'm typing. Run it again. Name. Hours worked, 40 hours. Pay rate, $26.75. So here we go. The name is Ziad Dad. The hours worked 40, $26.75, and the gross pay is $1,070. And that's the end of. So that's how structure works.